Hello, everyone, and welcome to Angel Hour. Thank you so much for joining in today and for being patient while we ironed out our tech issues. As you know, we're going to be devoting the next full hour to angel readings for you. I do see that many of you are already lined up for readings, but if you haven't yet submitted a reading request, you are welcome to call or text the Bring Me to Life team at 240-979-6366. Again, that's 240-979-6366. Or, of course, you can submit your reading request in the Bring Me to Life chat room. Now, during Angel Hour, you'll have the opportunity to donate to the Bring Me to Life network, as always. All donations help the Bring Me to Life organization continue to create free, spiritually empowering content to share with the world. So to donate, just go ahead and click that donate button that you'll see at bringmetolife.com. For today's angel messages, let's hold the intention together that everyone receives the exact message of support that they need most. Whether you get through for reading or not, I always trust that the readings that come through have messages in them that are for all of us that we need to hear. I'm also holding extra healing intentions of support for all of you spiritually sensitive lightworkers and empaths out there who have been experiencing more energetic overwhelm or intense sensitivity than usual. I do know that this year and recently has been quite intense for many of us, and sensitive people are really feeling a lot of what's going around in the collective. I have been guided by my angels to send support to empaths and sensitives as much as possible lately. In fact, I'll be launching a course on empowering empaths in a few weeks. So if you're interested in that, I will drop a link for you in the chat room where you can join the Empaths Empowerment email list. And then after you join, I'll send you more info on the course and also access to a free 6-part video series that I'm going to be sharing on healing and empowerment for empaths too. So there's that link. I just sent it in the chat room for you guys. Now, before we get started, let's go ahead and, as usual, tune into the angelic realm together in our group centering and energy clearing meditation. Let's go ahead and begin by closing our eyes,
inner wellspring of spiritual power,
relaxing the
you
body.
have the ability to transform, create,
And we'll begin by taking in some nice, long, and deep healing breaths.
Sarah Hall, as we learn how to uplift all aspects of your life through spiritual empowerment. Enjoy
As you
weekly
breathe
guided
deeply,
meditations, spiritual
allow your
discussions on a
heartbeat
multitude of topics,
to
and a chance
relax
to call in to receive channeled
to a
messages.
soft, restful rhythm. Rest and receptivity flow into every cell of your body, helping to create a deep feeling of stillness, pure awareness emanating from the center of your soul as you awaken and open to the angels' healing frequencies of love and wisdom. With the next deep healing breath, visualize and feel as a group of healing angels surround you, channeling rainbow waves of support and healing light into your aura. The deeper you breathe this light, the deeper you are cleansed in its beautiful, uplifting energies. Visualize and feel as this rainbow cleansing light flows deep into every particle of your consciousness, lighting up your energy body from head to toe. Pure stillness and peace flows throughout your being. And I invite you in this moment to set a healing intention with the angels, offering them any questions or prayers that you have now. Beautiful. Feel as the angels listen, answer, and send you the exact energy of what it is that you need most in response to your healing intention. Breathe the angel support into your heart. And then on your next exhale, you can gently begin to open your eyes and shift your focus back into the physical room and moment that you're occupying here. Good. Thank you so much for joining in that meditation. It's always so nice to connect with everyone together and feel the connection of everyone. So let's go ahead and begin by connecting in with our readings. I'm going to just go over now and see what we have here. Ooh, it looks like we have quite the list today. And today, by the way, guys, I am using the Angel Tarot cards by Radleigh Valentine. I really love using these because they are so great for getting lots of detail on different situations. So let's go to our first reading from Ala. Ala says, I have been stuck in India for several months now due to lockdown, which has led me to more transformation, which I am grateful for. Beautiful. She says, however, although I have been trying hard to listen to my guidance, I feel like it's not clear where I'm supposed to go next and when would be the best opportunity for me. Is it important for me to stay where I am now longer, or can I expect to travel again soon? Okay, good. And then she has a couple of other questions there as well, but let's tackle the first question first so we can get everything one at a time. So I'm just going to go ahead and tune into the angels around you, Ala. I actually see Archangel Michael really, really strong around you right now, just showing us that he's helping to direct your path, helping you to make sure that you have a direct line towards where it is you're supposed to go first, the most important priorities. I'm going to turn over a couple of cards now just to sort of look at the journey ahead for you with your current location in India and where you're headed next. Okay, so the first card represents your foundation. This would sort of be like where you've been in the past so far, spending your time, in your current location in India, and, how that's affecting you now. And the card to show up is the Ace of Fire. Ace of Fire is actually a really good card. It's a card that represents really positive alignment with your life's purpose, and usually also being aligned with success in your career. So whatever's going on right now in your current location, it definitely has some benefits. It has the potential to advance you both in your life purpose and in your career. So let's go ahead and turn over the next card to see where we are. The next card is going to represent the present energies around you. And that is the Sun card. This is a very powerful card. Usually we see this card when there is a time, again, of success going on. So we've got two success cards in a row. The Sun card also represents the ability to be able to see your situation a little bit more clearly. So this time has granted you the opportunity to be able to see clearly in the light of the sun, sort of thing, being able to see the truth. Also showing us that there are big new ideas that would likely come to you as a result of that light-filled perspective that you are being given right now. So definitely pay attention to any big ideas or inspirations that you've received. Let's see our final card. Okay, our final card is the Nine of Fire. So this is telling us a little bit more about what the next steps are, whether or not you're meant to travel again sooner or later. And the Nine of Fire card is actually a card that represents don't give up and stay on the path that you're on right now. In other words, sort of stay where you are, dig your heels in a little bit longer. So this is sort of telling us that it's not necessary that you kind of pick up and travel again immediately. This is not something that you need to make arrangements for tomorrow or anything like that. The near future rather kind of shows continuing on the same path that you're on, as this actually continues to give you benefits. So let's actually pick that up with the next question. The next question that Allah has is, what business ideas that I'm getting, would it be beneficial to offer people both life coaching and Ayurveda yoga therapy as separate modalities, or would it be better to focus on one, and which ones? Is sound healing one of the offerings I should also bring in again in the future? Okay, so we're looking at business ideas now. Okay, so first of all, the angels are telling us that you're definitely in the right location again for getting these ideas and for working on some of these things. So it looks like, again, sticking to where you are and continuing to learn and grow right in your current location. There's something about that feels actually really grounding and helpful for you. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pull a card for Ayurveda. Okay, this is definitely a good area for you to be learning more in and leading in. I'm seeing you even teaching in this area. You've got the King of Fire card for this. This is a card that represents that you've got really motivated, ambitious, charismatic leadership energy around Ayurveda. The ability to communicate and teach about this with a lot of vision. So that's definitely really good. I see some great leadership coming in with the Ayurvedic tradition for you. Let's go ahead and look at yoga. And okay, for yoga, okay, one thing that they're showing us, I feel really good energy here, but they're saying that they want you to kind of pick something and stick to it with regard to yoga. So there's a lot of different yoga traditions out there, right? There's a lot of different ways that people kind of approach yoga. The card that you have is the Knight of Water, and what Knight of Water represents is the ability to kind of be all over the place, and that isn't necessarily a good thing. It isn't necessarily a grounded thing when we see Knight of Water. So this would say pick one thing. Let's pick with one rooted, grounded, tradition with regard to yoga. And interestingly enough, for you, Allah, I'm seeing that the more traditional you get with it, the better. So rather than picking maybe a yogic modality that would be really new agey or off the beaten path and that kind of thing, I'm kind of feeling sticking to the deep tradition, the ancient traditional, way. There's something about that feels really good. And I'm actually even seeing ascended masters around you that follow in this ancient yogic tradition who are working with you at a deep, deep spiritual level. So definitely keep, listening to those inner gut instincts and feelings that you've been getting, studying any deep traditions around yoga and incorporating that with what you're doing. I actually do feel that combining Ayurveda and whatever traditional yoga path you choose are both positive things. They both feed into one another and support one another. Let's lastly go into sound healing. I'm going to pull one card for sound healing. Okay, once again, we're getting this message that sort of says, yes, this is a good healing modality, but again, we're going to want to focus it and make sure that it's not too airy-fairy, but rather more grounded and maybe a little bit more traditional. So you got the Four of Earth card. This is a card that always tells us to balance and get grounded. This would be a good, definitely a very, very good decision for you to get into the sound healing and add that too. But again, I'm actually feeling us rooted in more traditional things for you, at least right now where you are in terms of your career path. So that would mean, for example, sound healing that involves the more traditional ancient roots of chanting and that kind of thing, and maybe where that ties into the yogic tradition. There's this really, really deep, ancient rooted feeling that I'm kind of getting. And yes, you have the ability to make all of that accessible with a modern, kind of twist, but we're kind of wanting to move away from more of the, I guess, the fluffy, airy fairy, new agey side of some of the things that people offer when they offer things like, healing and, all that kind of stuff. It's a very busy world out there in terms of the spiritual culture that we have all around the world. And there are some people that are kind of teaching things that are a little bit fluffier right now, and there's enough of that out there, and it's not necessarily effective for everybody either. But for you, I feel your guides really leading you to the strong stuff, to the basic, deep tradition stuff that just feels like it sets you apart, and it makes you a real master teacher. It gives you ability to really teach because you'll have knowledge on deeper traditions. So Allah's final message here was, I would like to ask my team in spirit for guidance and directions for my highest good. Great. I have been trying to improve my overall health. What are the messages from the angels about the next steps to take? Will my body heal and become more balanced? What would be helpful to achieve this? Okay, and then with regard to your physical health, I really love this. Your angels are giving us another really strong message. And included with the angels' messages, again, are also these ascended masters that I'm seeing around you who are very strong with you now. So their message for you right now is essentially that your personal healing that you're experiencing is actually inspiring, feeding, and informing your role as a healer in the world. So continue to just kind of learn and grow with regard to the Ayurvedic and yogic traditions that you are currently maybe being guided to go a little bit deeper into in terms of study and practice. These things are healing you, and your healing is going to inform what you're going to teach other people and to help them to make real healing transformations. The other thing that the angels are really showing us is food. They're saying diet is the most important thing for you with regard to your physical health. Particularly, I'm seeing detox as one of the big major things that we're going to want to target. They're showing us that the liver and the gut are going to be really important for this because that's going to set a foundation, it looks like, of healing for the rest of your body. So focus on continued detox, eating, only really pure, clean, whole, real foods, and just see where that starts to take you. They're saying that you're already very much on the right track with all of this, so definitely keep going. And thank you so much, Allah. Okay, let's go to our next reading, guys. We have another reading request from Melissa. Melissa says, hey, Sarah, I'm wondering when will I get a job that better supports my overall well-being? I've been trying hard and the door just isn't opening. I know there's divine timing, but it's really difficult to keep hope and faith. Sometimes I wonder if God forgot about me. Absolutely not, my dear. God never forgets. It's impossible. It's impossible. And the angels are saying, we are reminding you of that truth. And it's truth that you know down to your very spiritual DNA. And so they're reminding you of that. You are one with exactly the support that you need. You have a place in this world, a purpose in this world, and will be aligned with exactly what you need in perfect timing. So let's go ahead and pull a couple of cards here and see what the angels have for you. And I'm seeing right away that you've got Archangel Chamuel with you. Archangel Chamuel is both an angel of the heart, healing the heart, guiding in love, as well as an angel who helps us to find our path. So you can definitely call on Chamuel on your path, Melissa, as you look for your next job, your next opportunity. Chamuel is showing us that there's something going on that's kind of getting a little bit in the way, or maybe just kind of creating a sloggy, kind of heavy energy around the job search for you. He's pointing to your heart, and he's showing us that there's just a deep feeling of being drained, like an exasperation or an emotion of almost like feeling victimized in your current job or in your past job or something like that, just feeling, kind of stuck by whatever was, there in the past. And they want you to know you're not a victim. You're not a victim at all. You're not stuck. There's nothing wrong. You have the ability to attract exactly what you need. And as you forgive and clear those past experiences and also alter your self-concept so that you no longer believe I'm a victim of struggling or difficult circumstances, but rather I'm empowered. I choose what I want and I get what I want. You'll see things really turning around with a shift in perspective, especially your perspective on yourself and your capabilities. That really just speeds and uplifts everything. Let's turn our cards over and see what we get here. Your first card is the Nine of Water. Wow. This is actually one of our most positive cards in the tarot. This is a card that represents when your wishes are coming true. It usually represents that the clouds are parting, the light's coming through, and your ship is coming in, kind of thing. So this is the angel's way of telling you, by the way, since this is our first card, and this is representative of your foundation, what's already there for you, that in vibrational escrow or in energy, the perfect job, the perfect situation absolutely is already there for you. It already exists. It's right there in your back pocket. There just does seem to need to be some kind of a little bit of a shift in perspective right now. The second card is going to give us a little bit more information about this. The second card represents present circumstances. So what are you getting out of the present job search, the work that you've been putting in? And it's the Strength card. So that's really interesting because when we see the Strength card, it doesn't usually just come to say, oh, yeah, you're strong. It comes because it's acknowledging that perhaps you've been through experiences in the past that have challenged your strength, where that strength has had to be maybe hard won as a result of some challenges. The angels are actually showing us that despite some of those challenges, they're showing us that there are blessings and benefits in that you've got the opportunity to really, really strengthen your faith and develop a sense of autonomy, of independence, of self-empowerment, and actually bring that to the world, bring that to the people that you'll be helping through your career. One final major important message that the Strength card usually brings us, a little bit of advice it usually brings us when we see it come up, is that it's time to release any harsh judgments. Sometimes when we think of the idea of strength can go too far, right? It can mean being brittle, clenching so hard or gripping so hard that it has limited, your ability to sort of see all of the opportunities available to you. It can be stuckness if we're tense or we're stubbornly focused with our strength. So that side of this idea of the concept of strength is essentially just saying, again, release any rigid, harsh judgments, forgive and release the past, hold a great deal of compassion for yourself and for the world around you. It's time to really forgive the world around you. The angels are also saying it's time to forgive money. It's time to forgive money and any, let's say, limiting or even we could say traumatic, damaging concepts that you've been taught or conditioned to believe in the world about, there's not enough to go around. They're saying that lack consciousness can sometimes get in the way and make us feel stuck when we want to improve and attract something new for a career and finances. So they're saying that too, that's another area where you can release and forgive and bring in a little bit more healing energy on this path. Now, the final card that we have for you is the High Priestess. So this is telling us about what's to come next. And it's actually beautiful. The High Priestess represents doing something that you trained to do, that you were professionally prepared, perhaps, to be able to do something that you maybe studied for, something in your expertise. It also represents patience. This is the card that says your patience will pay off, and that it's important to just keep carefully considering, what you want and what you're really looking for as you continue to go out there and put the work in and act. The angels are saying that this is actually a time in your life where they want you to not necessarily box yourself in with the quote unquote safe options, for your work life, but rather expand and liberate yourself with not just those safe options, but looking for your dreams, reach for the stars. In other words, look for what I ideally really, 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 really want to be doing to contribute something of value and worth in the world that makes me feel passionate, and align with that. And that will really help, because whatever it was that maybe you were doing in the past job, it looks like it kind of maybe just could have dampened your spirit a little bit. It could have, kind of made you have tunnel vision and feel a little bit like, I feel resistant of my job. I feel like I just want to, protect myself or shield myself against it because the energy is harsh. So they're saying in order to coax that energy to bloom back open again, which will, by the way, help you to connect with people and help you to connect with your next job, forgive the past, release the past, and again, shoot for something, a version of the work that you do that just feels like it's much more of a match for what you truly want, what you truly believe in, what you are passionate about in this world. And your angels are guiding you, especially Chamuel. And I see Michael popping up around you as well. And Raphael, who is the healer, who is showing us that you have healing abilities. So focus on your service, your ability to heal others, of I want to heal. And that actually attracts massive opportunities when you focus on how may I heal? Let me be of service, rather than I'm desperate to find a job. It's not showing up. It's not showing up. Instead, how may I heal, universe? Put me in a situation where I can give. I'm ready to give. I'm ready to heal. The angels are guiding you, and it's coming up, my dear. All right, let's go to Erin. Erin says, I'm struggling to open my intuition, communicating with my guides, and to know what direction to go in next. Thank you for your insight. Okay, let's go ahead and turn over some cards for you. Right away, I'm actually seeing that you have many guides around you. I'm seeing a group of 4 angels who stick around you all the time, who are very strong around you. I'm also seeing what appears to be a grandmother or great-grandmother who watches over you on the other side, and some feminine guides, some divine feminine guides, like goddess energy is around you really beautifully, Erin. So that's wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and turn over a couple of cards here and just see what these guides want you to know about your intuition and gifts. Okay, this is really interesting. You've got the World card as the first card to come through. So this tells us right away that this is sort of like you have the world at your feet, or you have the ability to communicate with guidance, with spiritual guides, really, really powerfully, actually. In fact, the angels are showing us some depth to this, as if you have past lives in which you have practiced being able to communicate with the spirit world before and really honed this practice. It's just a matter of accessing the on and off switch, so to speak, and you'll start to see that clear intuition really opening up a lot more, which will be beautiful. Now, one of the things that they're actually showing us that will help you with regard to this is just 2 things. First thing has to do a little bit with what appears to be an underlying emotion, attitude, or belief that feels like it's from this lifetime, and it revolves around being different. There seems to be maybe a little bit of a hesitancy or a maybe unconscious fear of being too different in this world. Almost this idea that says, if I'm different, maybe I'll be rejected, or people will attack me, or, people won't understand me, or I won't have a place in the world, and that kind of thing. The angels are saying, it's okay. It's safe to be different. It's safe to have your gift and to use your gift. Remind yourself that it's safe. It's safe to be different. And that helps to actually open up your gift more, because there's a little bit of unconscious holding the self back due to self-protecting, a defense almost. That's sort of saying, I don't know if I'm ready to open up all my gifts yet. The other area of this that the angels are showing us is past life related. So they're showing us that fear of being different reaches all the way back into past lives, where it actually looks as if you may have experienced some form of, they're saying abandonment, like being ostracized or pushed out from your community, from your people, because you had that intuition, that higher spiritual perspective. So there too, the angels are saying, do a little bit of healing around that. Again, repeating the truth, seeding the truth deep in your consciousness, your heart and mind. It is safe for me to be powerful. It is safe for me to be intuitive. It is safe for me to see, feel, hear, know the presence of the divine. And that will slowly help to blossom this as you go. And that will be really beautiful. The final thing that your guides and angels are showing us is that you actually also have a connection with spirit that occurs during your sleep. It's sort of like during your sleep, we're seeing the veil lifted And any of that self-defensiveness against connecting intuitively, it disappears, it thins, it kind of clears away for the most part. So if you'd like to, set intentions to communicate with your guides before you fall asleep, and then see if you can't remember some of your dreams, or if in the moments just as you're waking up, between sleep and awake, you can begin to hear or feel or sense some truth, a little message that's coming for you. And that will be really beautiful. So thank you so much, Erin, for your question. Let's go ahead and see what our next question is. And it actually looks like this person did not leave a name, but they said, hi, Sarah, I would love to have some guidance from the angels on what my next step is on my healing journey. I've been experiencing fatigue lately and would love some insight. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much for your question. I'm bringing Archangel Raphael in right away. Archangel Raphael, I'm seeing, is actually already very, very close with you. And what Archangel Raphael is showing us is actually that fatigue seems to be connected right to the endocrine system, right down to the adrenals and stress hormones. We're seeing old levels of stress hormones, maybe over stimulation, over sensory, it's stimulation, that kind of thing, contributing to some of this fatigue. And this feels like it's kind of just sort of creating a little bit of a domino effect around the rest of the body, where everything else, maybe wants to move a little bit slower. So the angels are showing us that if you can begin by supporting the adrenals, particularly by removing and reducing stress levels as much as possible, that would be really, really good. And one of the big messages that your angels are actually giving you is right before you fall asleep, particularly. So let's say the hour before your sleep time. That's going to be a time where your angels are guiding you to just unplug and disconnect. If you can do something to just really have little to no sensory stimulation input, maybe just taking some time to meditate, maybe take a sea salt bath, slowly getting ready for bed, prayer, quiet time, just relaxing. That's really, really good. Or even just, a quick walk or sitting down outside in nature for a moment and then getting ready for bed slowly and just letting your body sort of turn off all of its senses. They're showing us that you'll get deeper quality sleep and you'll be able to heal much more deeply during your sleep time, which is going to be really, really, really good. Now, one other thing that we are seeing connected to all of this actually is that there is some kind of a little bit of an old detox thing going on around your immune system. We're seeing that, sometimes as a result of, just being exposed to different kinds of germs throughout our lives, our immune system will pick up on these things and keep little stores of different germs, little bacteria, a little bit of, virus, whatever that's stuck in the body somewhere, being left over, held in the body somewhere. And they're just showing us that the body's actually going to optimally benefit by detoxing from that. So if you can start taking, some foods, eating some foods that are medicines, that are cleansing, that are antibacterial and antiviral, such as fruits, lots and lots of fruits, fresh pressed juices, vegetables, celery, greens, spirulina. These are some of the things coming through for you that you're going to see a really, really beautiful detox. One other thing the angels are saying is call in Raphael and do a little bit of research on nettle, the herb nettle. And just see if that brings a little bit of help for you with this detox that they're showing us. And then also Raphael says, I'll open up the whole wellspring of information for you regarding herbs, by the way, too, if you want a little bit of herbal support for the adrenals as well. So call in Raphael, do that research, get a little bit of, background guidance if you want. I always like going to a holistic doctor, too, to get a little bit of extra knowledge on these kinds of things. And you can always ask Archangel Raphael to guide your doctor, to move and speak through your doctor too. And that usually really brings in such a deeper quality to the information that you get. So my love and healing prayers go with you. And Raphael's just adding, you will be able to heal this. You're going to heal and reverse this. You're going to be just fine. So thank you so much for your question, for your request. Let's go now to Carol. Carol says, my husband and I have been practicing social distancing and wearing masks and carefully choosing where we go and when. What guidance do the angels have for us as far as the efficiency of these precautions and if it's wise to continue them? Thank you. Thank you so much, Carol. Let's go ahead and I'm going to actually turn over a card and connect with Archangel Raphael for this. I love that we've got a little theme going on here where the last couple of readings are related to health. Okay, the card that came through is King of Fire. So that usually represents you're right on track. Absolutely right on track, doing really, really great. They're actually showing us that continuing with the masks and the distancing does actually feel good right now. That feels good for now. They're just showing us that it adds an extra layer of safety. The interesting thing is that they're showing us in this, Raphael's explaining this to us very beautifully. He actually says, you, and it looks like your husband too, I'm seeing your family around you, some extended family members too, are protected. It looks like you're protected, from the COVID virus and that kind of thing, almost as if it's like, generally at a spiritual level, there's this agreement that we'll be safe or we'll be well. But Raphael says at the same time, we want to take the physical precautions too. It's sort of like saying, well, I'm not meant to get frostbite, but that doesn't mean that you won't wear a winter coat out during a blizzard. So they're saying that, yeah, it just creates a little bit of an extra layer of protection for now, kind of continuing forward. They're showing us that where you feel comfortable opening up, some of your precautions, it does feel good to do a little bit more of spending time with other people, but continuing that physical social distancing and continuing to certainly wear masks in public and that kind of thing, that stuff actually still feels like it's important and that will feel relevant for you for a little bit of a while longer. I have a strong feeling that you're going to get a bigger, maybe intuitive hit as to when it's time, to change. And the angels are showing us that this might simply be because they want to give you an extra layer of added protection because you've got maybe someone that who could be in a risk group or something like that. But for you, they're just saying that extra added level of safety. This is really good for you right now, and you're so on the right track. And I'm seeing Raphael say thank you and just give you like a namaste type of bow, which is really beautiful because that says thank you. You're doing your part. It's a loving, compassionate thing to take these precautions right now for humanity. So thank you. Thank you very much, Carol. That's beautiful. All right, let's go to Lazan. Lazan says, I have been made redundant today. Do angels have a guidance or message of hope for me today? I feel that this is a blessing in disguise, but trying to digest the news and feeling sad and uncertain at the same time. Much love and light. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Lazan. I'm going to tune into your angels right away, and let's go ahead and pull a couple of cards here. I'm seeing Archangel Chamuel show up for you again. Chamuel's been very active today, hasn't he? So he's actually channeling a little bubble of light around your heart right now. I'm seeing a soft gold and pink bubble of light that Chamuel is putting around your heart right now. And Chamuel is communicating that you have very, very high spiritual sensitivity. You are definitely very dialed in to the emotions of the world. So when you're digesting, the news and the current events and that kind of thing, and you're feeling that, again, very normal human reaction of some overwhelm or sadness and uncertainty, don't worry. This is not just you. First of all, this is, again, normal and human. But also, it's not just you. You're feeling the discomfort of others. There have been so many, 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 many reactions out in the world to all of the change, that's going on. Certainly dealing with a global pandemic, all of the different, social upheavals that have kind of been showing up lately. All of that is change. That is the energy of change. And people respond to change with varying levels of challenge, stress, difficulty. You're not just picking up on your own, you're picking up on that of the world. They're showing us that there's this deeper message emanating right from the core of your heart, my dear, that says, I just want everybody to be comfortable. I just want everybody to feel well. I want them to be safe. I want them to feel good. I know that a lot of us, feel really, really uncertain or disappointed when we look out at the world and we see people reacting to the things that are going on with, anger, where they're turning against people. And they're showing us, Layson, that this is one of the things that feels like it's creating a little bit of that extra bit of heaviness there. It's like, gosh, the world is going through enough hard things. And then to see people that are judging each other or being angry with one another or unsupportive with one another, that's really, it's really, really, again, challenging to see that. But the angels are saying, remember this with compassion. Whenever you see sadness, difficulty, negativity out in the world, these are people's reactions that come from fear. When people are scared, and a lot of people are scared as soon as they see something out of their comfort zone, as soon as they see a big change, like the ones we've all been seeing in our world lately, they have all kinds of reactions that are all over the map. They just start grasping at all kinds of different things. And the best possible thing that you can do, that any of us can do when we see that kind of uncertainty, panic, fear, anger, whatever negativity is out there, is to get grounded, actually. Because what happens when people get carried away, with the negativity and they react strangely, and there's all, more negativity that's being thrown out in the world, is they're getting carried away with this stuff and they're not staying grounded. They're letting the voice of fear, in other words, take them out of the present moment and instead take them into all kinds of different imagined realities in which they're trying to perceive all the different potential threats that could be out there. And that gets expressed as so many different things, whether it's hatred towards another group of people because they believe differently than you, because they're reacting differently to the world changes than you, whether it's, any other kind of, response. That's people, reacting with fear. And remaining grounded actually is the best service that you can give, not only to yourself, but to others as well, because you're holding space for that grounded, anchored, stable, comfortable state of being for the world. The more people that stay stable and anchored and grounded through all of this and don't give in to fear. Changes are a part of life. They happen. They've happened, in and out throughout our history forever. And we can do this just the way that our ancestors did. We're going to move through, changes gracefully, and we're going to heal, and everything's going to be fine. The more people that ground through it, the better. Something that the angels are adding with regard to this for you too, Layson, is they're saying that when you ground, it helps you with not attaching and picking up so much on the negative energy of others. So that's going to be really, really, really important for you too, as an empath, as a highly spiritually sensitive person, is just to make sure that you stay grounded in your own energy, in your own physical body, and most importantly, in the present moment, where the only real stuff that really is relevant and matters is going on. So if you find that overwhelm, just actually take a little exercise where you breathe deeply, look around in front of you, and feel the present moment. So in other words, in your present moment, is there, any of the other threats or worries, that you might be having to deal with? Is that in your immediate? And if the answer is no, then okay, go a little bit further into that feeling. Feel what's here in the present moment. And observe and go as far enough into the present moment as far as observing in it, just being in it, that you find that there's actually a presence there within you. An observing, quiet, still presence that emanates from the depths of your soul. And that presence is one with God. That presence is a direct line to the consciousness of God. It's the presence that knows that everything is fine. It knows and it creates a healthy, balanced, happy, positive reality. Creates, whatever it wants to create. Whatever you focus on is what it creates. So hold space for being in that pure awareness. Take a moment to appreciate all that you see in the now. Look for the blessings, look for the things to celebrate around you. And then ground into those simple things. One thing that the angels are just adding for you, and I have a feeling that there's a message in this for everybody listening today, so it's good that we're getting this one. Listen, is do a little bit of physical exercise to help you really, really, really ground. This is something that really helps not only to detox the energy of fear, stress, and overstimulation by moving the body and helping you to sweat out those stress hormones, rebalance, clear all of that out, but it also helps to hone and discipline your mind. When you're exercising, let's say, for example, you're going for a jog or a walk or a bike ride or you're doing yoga, there's part of your mind that kind of has to get really clear and focused on what you're doing with your physical body. And that's really good because then you're taking every drop of consciousness that would normally be bouncing all over the place, worrying about this situation or that, or tuning into this person's energy or that, group of energy, that might be out there in the physical world somewhere. And you're bringing it back into the present moment. You're anchoring every drop of you out from wherever it's wandering and into right here in this moment in the body. And as you make the body stronger, remember what you do to the body, you do to the mind, and you also do to the spirit. So you become stronger in your mind, honing that mental state of pure spiritual presence that emanates from the center of your soul. You become stronger in spirit too, connected to it. The energy of that pure, grounded presence here. So create that. The angels are saying the word miracle. You're creating a miracle in you each time you choose to get into that grounded, centered, stable place. It's a miracle that you give yourself and the world. So that's really beautiful. And I thank you for that. Thank you for your message, Layson. Okay, let's go ahead and see where the angels would like us to go next. Okay. We have a message request from Teresa, but it actually did not show up in my text. So maybe our producer CeeLo here, he can maybe send me Teresa's message just one more. Oh, he told me that's donator number 4. Okay, so when we did that message earlier and I didn't have the name, that was Teresa. Okay, so I was confused. Thank you, Teresa. Yes, and we got her message about the fatigue and the physical healing. So I'm glad that you got your message, my dear, and I hope you enjoyed it. Wonderful. Okay, we'll go on to the next message there. Fantasia says, any messages regarding finances for me? Also, my ex-husband is taking me back to court later this month, and any guidance regarding that is greatly appreciated. Okay, great, Fantasia. Let's pull a couple of cards for this. I'm going to start with a couple of cards for finances, and then we'll also look at some cards for what to expect in court. I'm seeing Archangel Michael, really, really strong around you, and Archangel Uriel. So these two angels are working in teamwork together for these areas of life right now. You can definitely call on them and get a lot of extra strength and support here. Let's turn over the cards for finances. Okay, so right now we've got 2 cards. What I decided to do was to pull a little mini cross. That means I take 2 cards and I put one card down and then another card crossing it, representing, okay, the first card is what is the energy like right now? What is the situation? And then the crossing card says what influencing energy is coming in and maybe changing that situation for you. The 5 of Fire is your first card for finances. So this is a card that we see when maybe there is some conflicting energy going on. So this represents when, there's a lot of things going at once. Maybe there's some, conflicting, kind of needs in terms of your finances and the need to actually just organize the budget. They're showing me energy where it kind of almost feels like there's a lot of things pulling your financial focus in more than one direction, at a time. And it's sort of, there's this feeling of like, oh, where do I go with this? There's a need for a little bit more of that The angels are saying organization and simplification. And Archangel Uriel is really going to help you get very, very focused with that organization, simplification, and seeing the clearest road ahead for that. So that's what we see. That kind of just shows where things have maybe been a little bit complicated around finances in the past. But by the way, the angels are adding in a really great message, Fantasia. They're saying that this is your time right now, actually to kind of have a little bit of a financial makeover in your life. So we're seeing the beginnings of that actually beginning. And even if it is a little bit, kind of uncomfortable or even seemingly worrying to see that, oh yeah, things are more complicated, or I've got, financial responsibilities that are pulling me in different directions and I can't seem to get a hold on my goals. That's actually okay. That's a wake up. When you feel that and you're able to identify that and you're starting to see, okay, something's got to give, something's got to change. There's a major wake up going on for you right now where you're starting to have a more consciousness and more awareness around your finances than ever before that will actually help you to truly manifest, the answers to your prayers with regard to the bigger long-term goals. So if you've had anything going on in your life where it's like, oh, I've got these long-term goals for my finances where I really want to achieve X, Y, or Z, but I seem to be either moving very slowly towards that goal or not, getting enough traction towards that goal, then this is your angel saying, here's a wake-up call. We're going to teach you how to realistically, kind of organize, simplify, and move towards those goals in a much better way than ever before. And I think you're going to like your crossing card here. This is telling you the new energy that's coming in, the influencing energy that kind of changes your finances right now. And it's the Six of Fire, which is a card that represents things are looking up. In other words, the worst is behind you. The most challenging financial moments are already behind you. You've already experienced, the most difficult of it. You can expect that there won't be too much more of that. And that now you're getting organized, you're feeling free, you're seeing the horizon, and you're taking a new journey. You're starting a new journey, and you're starting almost what feels like a new financial lifestyle that feels really empowering. So you can expect some great things to come in. I do see you putting in, again, the organizational planning behind this and the work behind this. But oh boy, do your labors absolutely pay off very fruitfully. Let's go to the court case and just see what information we can get on that. Okay, actually, this too looks like we've got some good energy coming in. So right now, the angels are showing us that there may be some worries regarding this situation. So 9 of Air is the card that we see here. This is a card that can represent big stress and worry coming in, kind of expecting the worst, going, oh no, I don't want to go through this again, that kind of thing. But then your crossing card is the 10 of Earth. So this says the energy that's coming in to influence this court situation is the energy of abundance and balanced family life, actually. 10 of Earth represents usually a happy family life where your family is securely protected and financial security. So protection for finances, protection for family, and being able to kind of enjoy life and its, just simple beauty, simple pleasures as a result. So you can definitely trust that things actually work out well, it looks like, around all of this. And then I just pulled one extra card. I want to see if there's any final outcome, message that the angels want to give us regarding the court case. And it's the 3 of Water. 3 of Water is really good. This is a card that represents a celebration. So it's saying that by the end of the court case, you'll have something to celebrate. You're going to feel relieved. You're going to feel like, woohoo, we've got this over with. And now, we've got a good situation and we're able to really move forward in a positive way. So your angels are helping to clear that path for you. Trust that everything's going to work out, and definitely keep calling on Archangel Michael, especially for protection around your sensitive energy in the court situation, and Archangel Uriel, who's going to really help you to plan and have great vision for reaching goals for the future. Beautiful. Okay, let's go ahead and take another reading request here. We have Wendy. Wendy says, what do I need to be focused on to be at my best and highest self? Okay, great. I'm going to pull a couple of cards for you, Wendy, and tune into which angels are around you. You have such a sweet, compassionate energy, my dear. I can feel that right away. Definitely an empath. So I'm very glad and honored to be connected with you. They're showing us that there are a lot of really beautiful angels around you who channel this very pearly pink light all around your spirit. They're showing us that you are also a clairsentient, meaning you have clear feeling. You feel the feelings of others. You feel the world. You can even probably feel the presence of angels and spirit if you want to. That's a gift. And your heart is always so big and so wide open. The angels are saying that they're protecting it for you right now. And they want you to know that if you can focus on protecting your heart, supporting your heart, listening to its needs, that's going to make all the difference for you. It's going to help you to be really, really empowered and feeling your absolute best. Let's turn these cards over and see what we have here. Very interesting. Your first card is the Magician. The Magician. So the Magician is really great. This is a card that represents that you actually have lots of spiritual gifts and the resources around you right now to manifest some really, really, really beautiful benefits in your life. Specifically, the angels are honing in on personal healing and the empowerment of your spiritual gifts even more. Awakening your intuition more. Also, awakening your healing ability. I do see that you have a healing gift within you. And they want you to know that you can empower that through spiritual practice, through self-inquiry, through working with your angels regularly. So definitely do that. That's going to really help you a lot at this time. One other thing that the angels are showing us is they're saying that it's actually also really helpful for you to live your best life, to be your best and highest self, to focus on releasing fears. They're telling us that in the past, there were fears that held you back. Particularly, these feel like they come from your ancestry. They're showing us family conditioning that goes back to childhood. We're seeing your mother's side of the family, particularly people that maybe went through certain struggles or had worry-based patterns where there was, just fear about the world, about being, well in the world and that kind of thing. And they're showing us that you're actually ready to kind of purge that old ancestral programming out at this time. So any inner spiritual work that you can do to actually confront your family programming from childhood, to also confront your inner child and speak to her, and then to clear out any fear, that's going to be really, really wonderful. Reminding yourself that it's safe to be joyful and trusting in this world. It's safe to trust the world, to be happy, to be well. Then that's really, really good. That will actually do really, really well for you. They're showing us that one more little gift they have one little gift they want to give you more. I'm seeing Archangel Chamuel step forward again. He's just the angel of the day here. And he's pointing to your heart, and then he's showing me images of nature and getting out and exploring life's little moments. The most simple little moments are oftentimes the most soul nurturing, the most fulfilling. Literally going out and stopping and smelling the flowers at sunset or a sunrise, quiet quality time with someone you love. Little things like this, these little things, enjoying a meal, that's with someone you love, that's really wholesome. All these little things feed and nurture, not just, the body or the mind, but the soul. They feed the soul. So the angels are reminding you to do plenty of that because it grounds you. It helps you to make sure that you clear other people's energy if you're picking up on other people's energy. And it helps to just kind of keep you in a place where you're having a beacon, they're showing us, almost of hope. That groundedness in the simple beauties of life, it actually connects you to miraculous energy. In the simplest little moments, that's when we actually connect with miracles. And the angels are here to teach you that, here and now. Beautiful. Thank you, Wendy, so much for your question. Let's go ahead and we're going to take just one final question for today. Eric says, I've wondered what my life purpose is my whole life. Ever since I was young, I felt like I had a purpose. Any help you can give is greatly appreciated. Thank you. Love and light to you. Thank you, Eric. Wow. Right away, Archangel Michael is incredibly strong with you. He is one of your closest, strongest guides. I see him standing right behind you, and the two of you standing next to each other, almost like you're best friends, like brothers in arms kind of thing. He's actually showing us that he's worked with you in many, many lifetimes, and that you do have a life purpose. You're definitely a light worker. Archangel Michael actually said simultaneously, as I said, light worker, light warrior. So in other words, just really willing to focus on holding space for light in a very, very big, powerful way. Yeah, that's a big part of your purpose. They're showing us that you have the ability to bring truth. They're saying truth is oftentimes what is most protective, for others. It's oftentimes the thing that sets people free. Sharing the truth and defending, the truth and holding space for the truth. They're showing us that you also have a really great perspective, a lot of vision. And the more that you communicate your perspective, your opinion, your vision in the world, the more this spreads that light in such a way that helps you to do work with Archangel Michael, where you're clearing out negativity, fear, hardship, people that get lost in the illusion of fear. And hold space for light, are protected in truth. So communicate, definitely communicate. They're showing us that a lot of your life purpose gets expressed in interactions that you have with others. You may see that you learn a lot about your life purpose in your relationships, where you have opportunities to speak the truth, to learn and to really grow and to spread that light a lot. I'm even seeing that you have the ability to share it out in your career as well. Being a teacher of love and light, sharing messages of, Michael's showing us of what it really means to live with good values, to live ethically, to live with real love in your heart, and to defend against the presence of ego, kind of coming in and taking over and making people, we'll say maybe selfish or greedy or angry or whatever else they might be. You've got a really, really great ability to lead in that way. And the angels are inviting you again to speak up more, to practice doing that, and that you will begin to enact your spiritual purpose in this way. By the way, they're showing us journaling would be a wonderful way to start to open up spiritual empowerment for yourself and to wake up your ability to talk to the angels. I see that you have beautiful high sensitivity. You have the ability to communicate with the angels. And I'm seeing that journaling looks like it's a really great way for you to channel them. Even when you don't know it, you'll probably be just expressing messages through the things that just naturally you want to write down that come straight from the angels. And sometimes our best ideas are that they're nudged in from the angels. So start communicating with them, practice expressing your truth and communicating through that journaling too, they're telling you. And you're going to see more and more of your gifts come to surface. Call him Archangel Michael daily, by the way. He's just one of your number one, kind of close friends. Thank you so much, Eric. An honor to be connected with you here. All right, it looks like, you guys, we have just come to the end of our time. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will be back again on Bring Me to Life Radio on Thursday, July 23rd for Through the Eyes of the Angels. Same time, same place. Be sure to tune in because we're going to be discussing the divine purpose of empaths in the grand scheme of the evolution of human consciousness. And of course, doing more angel readings too. So come on back and get another angel reading. Also, I love keeping in touch with you guys, so do drop in and say hello on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. Again, if you'd like to learn more about my upcoming Empaths Empowerment Healing Journey, you can click the link that I left for you in the chat room to join the email list. And I'll send you more info on that very soon, including the 6-part video series coming up. And you can also keep in touch with me on sarahhall.com if you want to send me a message directly. It's always such an honor to share with you, and I'm wishing you all a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. Bye.